close story familiar to some, I think. As long as we keep our data methods hidden, our concepts and theories vague, we continue to live in an illusion where a lot of our findings could be truth-like, but can never be shown to be false. While this is a happy dream, it's not a basis for progress. The only way in which we can accumulate knowledge is to be fully transparent of what we've done so that we can help future generations to keep evaluating and re-evaluating our present day work. So, some recommendations for esports researchers. Be reflexive. Do your best to accurately describe methods, share data, and be as clear as possible with the concepts and theories that you use. When suitable, use positionality statements and disclose context and interpretation, and so on and so on. For journals, set standards of reporting high. Give unlimited word limits for method sections, use top guidelines, and so on and so on. Respect methodological and epistemological diversity, but do not compromise on transparency. For companies and organizations, if you want to help research, always share your knowledge and data that is available, but don't do exclusive contracts. Always ensure that the entire scientific community will have access. In this way, we can help esports research pursue sustainable knowledge. Number 2, normalize boring findings. The reality is, constructing knowledge is difficult, time-consuming, and usually takes years of effort from numerous researchers with different backgrounds. Any actual groundbreaking finding is an upshot of dozens of boring papers which alone do not and cannot tell much. But when put together years later, they collectively solve problems. Notably, this also concerns negative or null results, which might not support our expectations. The only way to be clear, to get a clear picture of the world is to see it all. If half of the research does not get published because they're not exciting or novel, we're left with a distorted picture, which will be problematic years or decades later. So, recommendations for researchers again. Spend a significant amount of time on thinking what is worth your time. Daniel Lenkens once put this very nicely. Ask, what's the biggest problem in your field and why aren't you working on that? When you figured out what's really important, focus on that thing carefully. Don't be afraid what you'll find out. If the question is important, your findings will be important regardless of the results. For esports journals, don't make accept and reject decisions based on novelty, but the quality of the work. Also welcome, or even better, encourage replications and similar designs that have been published earlier. Every single interesting finding should lead to a call for replication and so on, so no worries about that. Esports companies and organizations, don't set expectations of what researchers should find with your data. Rather, develop long-term collaboration strategies that help answering important questions in the years and decades to come. And then, third and last, and definitely not least, develop better coaching and training. The future of any academic field is not defined by seniors, but students and early career researchers. If we can help upcoming esports scholars to do research with good practices, this will organically lead to sustainable, reliable knowledge of esports in the long run. In this picture, the distribution of knowledge should also consider regions that may not have the resources to establish local bottom-up structures themselves. Therefore, inclusion of researchers from all around the world and prioritization of cross-cultural science should be among the highest values. So, recommendations again for researchers. Doing good research is really hard, so whenever possible, collaborate, and collaborate. Invest in learning the best practices and be ready to question your own competence. Share what you've learned, and for those who are in senior positions, prioritize teaching, supervising, and establishing structures of knowledge distribution. For journals, I have 2 things. First, move to use transparent peer review. Don't mean signed peer review, but transparent peer review. In transparent peer review, journals openly share all the review reports. This is literally cost nothing, but will ensure that the feedback provided by journals is constructive and fair. Second, move to offer registered reports publication format. In registered reports, the publication, the research plan is reviewed before it is carried out. The International Esports Journal already does that. This ensures that people will get the feedback at the right time, not at the end when it's too late, but in the beginning when there's a chance to fix and improve and learn. For companies and organizations, finally, ask researchers how they can help you. Many of the questions that we ask are mutual, and finding correct answers will benefit everyone. All of us improve by loops of feedback, and creating an environment that provides good, transparent feedback between academia and industry will speed up progress in both. So these were most of my thoughts. As it happens in all sports, the older the game gets, the less relevant becomes micro, and the more important becomes macro. This applies to esports research as well. The faster we learn to understand and respect the importance of macro-level progress over micro-level success, the sooner our field can reach higher ranks of sustainable esports knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Veli. And the reason I asked Veli is because I've met so many of his PhD students who love the guy. And you know, that is to be applauded. So please give Veli a round of applause. I'm going to keep you along. So just a reminder, I'm in charge. So this conference is not about being pretentious, showing off, asking difficult questions. It's about supporting each other and making connections. So tomorrow morning and Wednesday morning there will be a lot of tracks. There will be some people who are not researchers. Nobody has to ask questions like their boss is there and they want to impress them, like we've all experienced. Nobody has to react to a certain word that they know from their field and they have to show off about it. So tomorrow morning, when in the tracks, please be supportive and open discussions and don't correct people on their methodology. And also with the panels, please try not to attack the people I spent hundreds of hours negotiating with companies to bring here. Like they're all, I know them all. You know, they're happy to take your crap and one-to-one, but please, when we're streaming and trying to build relationships with the industry, be nice, supportive, and constructive. So for the rest of the conference, I'm just asking everyone to be supportive and enjoy each other and network and build a relationship so we can build a sustainable esports. And also, if you're hungover, just tell your track chair and they'll sort of say, okay, so you can go to the bar. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your meal.